You're listening to the Intimacy Uncovered podcast, where we discuss intimacy, romance, foreplay, and sex-positive topics with your hosts, Ryan Whitfield and Lex Harris.
Let's go. Welcome to the Intimacy Uncovered podcast show. I'm Ryan.
I'm Lex. We back at it, people.
Yes, welcome back to our podcast show where we talk about everything under the sun.
Everything under the sun.
Relatable to sex, intimacy, romance, dating. You name it, we claim it.
That's right.
So, listen, we've been doing a podcast after podcast, Lex.
Yes.
And the feedback has been phenomenal. So first, before we even go on, we want to thank everybody for all the positive feedback. It's been amazing. You know, this book that we have coming out pretty soon. It's still on pre-release at Amazon.com.
So
be sure to check it out. Grab your copy.
Take advantage of those prices.
Yes, it is definitely on sale right now on pre-release. So make sure you go do that. But Lex, one of the things that I want to just jump right into is these topics that we've been covering have been adding so much value to people. You know, they've been giving feedback and sharing their stories and things like that. So it's been one of the things that, for me, has been like fulfillment. Because, you know, when we first started this, you know, we didn't really know where this was going in regards to, you know, doing a podcast and stuff like that. We knew what we wanted to do with the book, but the podcast was like a bonus.
That's so true. It really was. And I think it's really been helpful and useful, you know, for people to really understand the perspective of the book and the different types of intimacy and how that plays a role in the dating and relationships. So you're absolutely right, Ryan. You hit the nail on the head with that one.
And one of the things that I definitely want to, you know, share with people is that people ask me, like, you know, well, what kind of book is it? So you know what I've come to terms with of understanding of how to explain it to them?
What's that?
It is a visual dialogue.
A visual dialogue.
Yes, it's a visual dialogue. It's me and you having a conversation with anyone that partakes in getting the book. It's just us having a one-on-one conversation with you in the visual format, meaning that there's pictures, there's imagery, there's things that's going to hold your attention when it comes to, you know, the topics that we talk about.
Absolutely. It's definitely visual and intriguing. And it's a page turner, if I must say so myself.
It definitely is. It's definitely a page turner.
Definitely a page turner.
Yeah, it's definitely a page turner. So if you guys have been following us on Instagram or on any of the other social media platforms, you'll see some of the imagery that we have been sharing with you that is, you know, it's quite provocative.
That's right.
Yeah, it's definitely provocative. It's definitely eye-catching. So I think that's going to be a great thing. So we got a great show up for you today.
Do. So we got a lot going on today, as usual. So are you ready for our rundown for the day, Ryan?
I'm ready. Let's get it.
All right. So we have our, you know, kind of dating budgets. What does that look like? You know, especially, you know, for like if you're in a newly budding relationship or dating, what does that look like? What is the appropriate budget? And if you've been in it for a while, like, is it levels to this? We need to find out.
Yeah, we're going to dig into that.
We need to discuss that one. Also, match my freak level.
Match my freak level.
Whoa. Somebody snuck this. You snuck this one.
I snuck
this one on here.
Yeah.
I don't remember this one being it's part of our topics today.
I did. I'm trying to raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, and you raised mine. Oh, no problem. And then we have our dating story that someone submitted. You guys have been so awesome and consistent with this. Please keep it up. We love hearing from you.
And you can definitely DM us on
DM
Intimacy
us those
Uncovered.
stories.
Yes,
if they're longer, you can email us at Intimacy Uncovered.
Yep. And if you want to be anonymous,
yes,
you can do the email. But if you want to just DM us on Intimacy Uncovered.
Yeah, and we can still make it anonymous there too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We can do that.
So let me tell you, this story is called Business and Pleasure. All right, can you believe that, Ryan?
Yeah, I've heard that before. Business
and pleasure. So often people have tried to, mix these two. So this one should be really interesting for everyone because I think it's a common theme that comes up. So stay tuned, guys. We have a lot going on. All right, guys. So we're back and we're going right into it with our dating budgets, Ryan. Like,
yeah.
It pays to play, right?
It pays to play. The reason why I think this topic is so relevant right now is because the dating scene has definitely changed. It definitely has. Like, so when you meet somebody or you meet multiple people,
yes,
you either meeting them in person or you meeting them online. You know, you got to determine how do you play out getting to know different people.
That's true. You definitely do. I mean, I think that, you have to go into it with some sort of method, right? Because otherwise, like with the online dating, with the chance encounters that you have, meeting people just out, it gets expensive.
That shit became a bill. I'm
you
so
really
serious.
have
Listen,
to make your own budget for that.
Listen, I literally I looked back and said, this is a bill.
Yeah.
I'm for real. It was like a mortgage. It was like a mortgage.
Whoa.
It was.
So how many dates were you having there, Ryan? It was like a mortgage, buddy?
Yeah, it was quite a few.
That's true. I guess
at that moment, I was feeling kind of free. I was like, let me just get out here and see what's out here.
See what's happening, man.
Then when I seen a mortgage payment for all the bills I had, I was like, look, somebody gonna have to move in.
Like, let me slow this down.
Yeah, we're gonna slow this down. But you know what? It wasn't necessarily about that. I'm gonna tell you what I learned from that, right?
Yeah.
And this is why I really think this topic is like very relevant. Mm-hmm. It's not the amount of money you spend on a date.
Okay.
I really feel that it's more about the connection you make when you meet that person.
Oh.
And the more immediate you find that connection, the more value that it is to the dates. And the reason why I say that is, let's say for instance you go out on a date with somebody.
Okay.
And you decide that you want to impress them and you want to take them to, this expensive restaurant. And let's say it doesn't hit off. Mm-hmm. Then it's a poor investment.
Okay.
So the reason why I feel like the dating budget is important is that if I can have fun with you, I can connect with you for a minimum amount of investment, then I feel like I'm ready to come back and double down on that investment.
Okay, and that makes sense when you put in that context.
Yeah, it's an investment.
It is an investment. And I think that people need to kind of be able to frame this in the context of the 5 different types of intimacy that we talk about, right? So this would essentially be financial intimacy, right?
That's true. Financial and experiential.
And experiential, you're right. It is coupled into both. And with that being said, you're absolutely right, because if you're trying to get an idea of, whether or not this person is for me, as I'm out here dating, you're absolutely right. It plays a big, or has a big impact rather.
But let me say this. I think females look at it a different way.
Okay.
I think females look at it in a way where they really don't give a damn. They really like, listen, you either gonna take me out, make me feel special.
When you say we don't give a damn,
give a damn about the budget. It's what I'm saying is that when you meet women, they're not like, hey, listen, I don't wanna tap into your budget or your pockets. They're like, I want to go. Listen, the first thing they're like, you're going to take me out. We're going to have some damn fun. We're going to do this.
Yeah, women definitely want to go out and have fun. And you're right. I think it's more for us about the creativity and thoughtfulness that you put into something.
I mean, I get that.
Which doesn't have to cost, right?
Right. No, but I'm saying I get that. And the biggest thing I was going to say is that most women are avoiding the come over my house or I come over your house.
Absolutely.
And I get that. But the biggest thing is just trying to connect. So you got to find things to connect with. And I'm always big on this. I'm big on doing things that are more outdoor, more things where, we can interact with. I'm really not following on the damn same dates of going to movies, going out to eat.
You talked about this in the first podcast.
I talked about this before, but I got to reiterate, like this is something that you have to do. You have to go do something that makes you interact. If not, then it's almost like the value of dating.
That's right. I actually read this funny meme the other day, which was so accurate. It said that you cannot, PSA, texting someone every day, what you doing, is not like building any type of rapport or interest.
I don't know what that's about.
That's so true. You
serious.
got to get up and get out and do certain things. And you're right, Ryan. Like, there's a lot of different things that can be done, especially in a city like DC.
DC,
New York. We're based here in DC. That there's a lot of things you can just do. That are free and that are fun.
For me, I like to go to the museum. I like to go to parks, different locations. Yes. Anything it's all about just me just trying to get to know who that person is.
Absolutely.
And if I can get to know who you are for free, I'm willing to invest more and more and more.
That's so true.
Do you think women think of it in that term, like that there's an investment, or do you think they think of it as I'm really trying to see what this guy's about?
You know what? I think it depends on what type of woman it is. You know what I mean? Because I can't couple all women and say that, we all necessarily kind of move to this method of thinking. I think that if it's more of a woman of substance, then she can kind of understand that, like, okay, you know what, this is an online dating situation, or we just met, you know, he is making an effort to try to get us out there to do various things. Let's not focus on exactly how much, you know, this date is costing, or, you know, what it is that he's spending. More so just about the effort that he's taking to put this whole outing together, versus someone else who may be in a different place, you know what I mean, who may be a little more shallow, I'm gonna just say it,
okay,
you know, and really those things become more important to that person about the price tag of everything.
Like I told you before, in a previous podcast, Boomerang played a big part with me. So I'm very detailed, especially when it comes to my dates. Like, I really am. So I'm kind of I'm putting a date together based on that person.
Okay.
So I'm listening. I'm trying to understand exactly who they are, what they're about, what they like, what they try to do.
So do you be like off your Hitch type scenarios?
I mean, you can throw Hitch in there too. I mean, I possess I can say I possess a little Hitch.
I mean, Will Smith.
Yeah, no Will Smith. Yeah, I'm not a listen. Those movies, those movies help you understand how to kind of lay things out for a woman.
Okay.
You know what I mean? For me, I wanted to make sure that, you know, if I go out with somebody, I want it to be a good time. I'm all about the good time.
That's good. So this is something you think about from date one. Day one, I'm trying to figure out exactly what type of person this is. I mean, of course, you try to have conversations about it, and you want to try to, you know, see what this person is. So I'm asking you.
Okay.
This is something you think about from date one, not day one. So essentially, like, do you figure this out, like, while y'all talking on the phone, you know what I mean, or whatever, or communicating that way, and then maybe you're formulating this date, or are you taking her on a very cost-effective date for the first run, and then maybe the second date introducing these Hitch and Boomerang type techniques?
It all depends on the term, the vibe.
All right, and that's what it means.
Yeah, if the vibe is good, and so initially, it's plain the simple dating budget. Meet me here, Starbucks, very $20-ish type of date. Like, it's not going over $20-something. It's like, meet me at Starbucks or Panera Bread or
for the first date.
For the first date,
okay,
if we just meet, if there's minimum vibe.
If there's minimum vibe.
If there's a minimum vibe.
There's levels to this.
It's levels to it. Because what happens is, I'm gonna tell you what happens, and this happens all the time. Women are approached by so many different men that it's hard for them sometimes to determine who they kind of gonna get their attention to. So what happens is they'll want to text you, they want to stay kind of far away from kind of really getting to know you. So by the time you get to the whole, you know, let's go out, they really kind of like hesitant if they haven't given you that access to them.
Okay, well, I mean, I kind of halfway agree with that. I halfway agree with that. However, women like automatically like gravitate more to the person who's really pulling their interest. So
that's true. I mean,
if you're not really pulling their interest, then you're right. You're gonna get a little straggling breadcrumb, like we mentioned.
Yeah, you like
the previous pack, you know, kind of communication from them. So you're right.
I mean, it's one of those things that, look at it like this. When it comes to going out, when it comes to going on these dates, you ask me about, did I treat every date the same? Right. And like I said, it depends on the vibe. Now, if the vibe is good, then of course I'm going to go into that Hitch, planning it out, trying to make just the small instance of something, not I don't want to say special, but something, you know.
So if the vibe is strong, that's what you're doing a little extra.
I'm doing a little extra.
Okay.
Yeah, if she makes me feel that way, I'm like, I'm gonna do a little extra. But what happens is I'm really trying to get a feel of her. Right. Once I get a feel of her, like I said, it determines whether or not I double down on that investment.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. And I think that, you know, for people who are beyond the whole dating realm, like, how does this kick in for, I guess?
You saying if you're past the dating thing and you're in a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay, so I could talk on that too. So I think a good method that I like to practice is I like to try to keep it consistent. Like every week, maybe, you know, I want to plan something out special that I say, listen, I'm still going to date you and treat you like I just met you. So, you know, I'm going to find a place that either you like or somewhere new or something that I feel like we both have an interest in. And I'm taking you on a date.
All right, that's dope. I can flow with that.
My girl is still going to be the person that I want to try to date.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that.
I think it should be like that from marriage all the way to date. I mean, it doesn't even matter. You should always be dating that person.
Absolutely. And I want to just take an opportunity to shout out my
you're married. Yeah, you're married.
Exactly.
So tell me what goes down.
I'm trying to tell you.
Go ahead.
trying to tell you. So I want to shout out my bae because he does those things too that you're talking about. Like, you know,
shout out to your husband.
Shout out to my hubby. You know, he definitely does those things as far as making sure he tries to take us out, you know, here and there, little special, you know, places. And it could just be spare in a moment. It could be something that was planned. And also just showing up with little, you know, kind of I appreciate you type things.
Okay.
So I think,
kudos, and we might have to bring him on the show.
I think, you know, I'm a little nervous to bring him on the show.
Oh, nah.
Just,
That's gonna be all good. Now, one thing that I will say is this. I talked about this before. Mm-hmm. I'm very competitive.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people say, well, should you be competitive with your partner or whoever in the day? I'm not even competitive in that manner. It's not competitive against the person.
Sure.
I'm competitive against the relationship.
Yes.
Right? And let me say, and I'm gonna say why. Whoever I'm in a relationship with, right? I want to outdo any other relationship they went in. I want it to be the best relationship.
That's wonderful.
Hey, I think that's a dope way of looking at it.
It sure is. It requires you to be more intentional and put more effort into the relationship.
Yeah, so for me, that's just me. You know, I don't know how other guys, but to sum up this topic, guys, here's my advice. Here's my take.
Right, your take.
Here's my demeanor on how I kind of deal with this.
Right.
I would check the vibe to see if it's worth an investment.
Definitely check the vibe.
If it is, I definitely would play off the $20-$25 initial date. That's how I would play it, and then I would invest from there. I would see what my investment is at after that. If the vibe and the connection is there, then I may double down. If not, then it's one of those things where I cut my losses early.
Okay, and I mean, how what's a fair time frame to kind of gauge this vibe, you think?
I mean, I'm trying to find a vibe within the first 1 or 2 days. I mean, it doesn't take that long.
But I mean, okay, so even before we get to the actual date, like if we're talking to this person or trying to communicate with this person.
You know what? See, now that's tricky. And I'm going to tell you why. Because y'all females have a way of...
Whoa.
No, I had to put y'all out there. And you can reverse it and if you want.
I sure will in a few minutes. Go ahead.
But some females they'll give off one vibe. And then when you get in person, it'll be a total different person.
You know why?
That pisses me off. I'm serious. That really pisses me off. It doesn't happen to me that often, but when it has, it pisses me off. Because what happens, you have somebody that's super fun and outgoing. And then when they get in person, they like... shy, like they've never been outside before. I'm like, why the hell did you even want to come out?
You said like they should, like they've been
I'm
outside
so
before.
serious, like, and these are like grown women. I'm like, listen, this makes no sense.
I mean, well, it could be two options, you know, and I'm just gonna just throw this out there. Number one, you know, maybe when she was talking to you, she felt comfortable, you know, because you weren't necessarily in front of her, and then when you got that opportunity to kind of be in front of her, maybe just her anxiety is kicked up a little bit because she's like,
oh, so she needs anxiety pills.
No, she don't need anxiety pills. And don't, like, I mean, she's just like, wow, I'm really like, this person is really kind of in front of me. I'm really excited about this, you know, hanging out with him.
Well, things have changed.
But I'm
now.
nervous.
Well, things have changed now. So
guys do that too.
No, but things have changed now. Let me say this. So we went from before it being where it was an initial conversation on the phone or by text.
Right.
But since this whole, you know,
you're right,
internet creep thing has, you know, been on the, I guess the cusp. Yeah, it increased. Most women are either saying let's FaceTime or let's see each other on Snapchat or something like that. So you kind of get a vibe of who that person is, kind of like.
You do, but in all honesty, it's nothing like being with someone in person. It's still different. It's still different. So you still have that level of anxiousness or just like, okay, you know, this is the first time. It is a level of awkwardness the first time. I always throw out the first time, in all honesty. Like, first date, back when I was on the scene anyway. Like, the first date or, you know, you got to work through those awkward kinks. That's normal.
Well, you know what? I try to work through those before I even get on the first date.
But see, that's your problem. Because
that's my problem. You know, I had a problem.
I'm just teasing you.
Okay.
No, because it's, again, we just said it's not like when you're actually in front of the person. Like, it's different. It's levels to this, right?
I get that, but I'm saying that you can create a good vibe that, honestly, I've had it to where you can meet someone, few texts, phone calls, little FaceTime. By the time I get in front of them, it's the same because I'm not changing. I'm going to be the same.
You are going to be the same, but guess what? Every person you encounter is different.
That's true.
Let's remember that.
That's true.
Let's remember that.
Guys.
So, wait a minute, hold on. I ain't say my second thing.
Oh,
second thing was, hold on, guys, because I'm just turning this part up. maybe she just wasn't feeling you. Like, and I'm not saying you personally, but like,
Oh, you wasn't feeling me, huh?
Like she was just
you could have told me. You could have told me this. You could have told me this.
He's a little shorter in person than I thought.
So you're going up height now. Oh, okay.
He's a little, thinner or, a little larger or whatever it may be in person than I thought.
God made me how I am. Accept me for who I am.
Accept me for all of me or none of me. So I'm just saying it's possibly those two things. And of course, everyone is different, so it could be more. But I would bet money that it's one of those two things. I'm just a little nervous because our first encounter, working out the little kinks. Second, nah, bro. You're not what I thought you were. when we, encountered each other in person, you're a little different than I thought you were or perceived you to be. Because even when you're Skyping someone or looking on your iPhone, you can't tell their height. You can't tell just different things about them.
My profile says I am 5 such and such.
My profile says I have a lean build.
Yes, I am lean. At one time, I was a lean build.
I'm very toned.
Yes, I am. I'm toned in my eyes.
Yeah, see, that's what happens. See,
no, I got you.
So you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. So listen, we're getting ready to take a quick break. I hope you guys gained a lot from this one because I did. This was so funny.
Yeah, it was.
So great. So we'll be right back after this brief message. And we are back.
All right. So are you ready, Ryan, for our story?
I am.
Business and pleasure. All right, guys. So let me jump right into it. So I've committed one of the biggest professional don'ts. I've started dating someone I've worked with. I checked the HR manual, and the only mention of relationships in the workplace is that you can't be romantically involved with a supervisor or manager. And neither is the case with us. The man I've been seeing isn't my boss, and I'm not his. But we do work pretty closely together on a lot of projects, which is how our relationship bloomed. We've been seeing each other for a little over a month. I'm not sure where it's going, but if we continue to date, it might be hard to continue to keep things a secret. I have lately found myself becoming jealous when some of our other colleagues flirt with him, and it drives me crazy, having to keep my mouth shut. He says he's playing along at times just to keep everyone thrown off, but I don't care for it. I have mentioned this to him twice before, and this week I caught another coworker at his desk being overly flirtatious. He is an attractive guy. He's tall, he's dark, and handsome. I'm no J-Lo, but I definitely hold my own, i.e. nice tone build, caramel complexion, long natural wavy hair. We both really like each other, and I don't want to break up. We're always professional in the office, but these flirtatious heifers are really starting to get to me the closer I get to him. Am I just being insecure? Is there any way this can work? Tiffany from NY.
Yeesh.
This is why you don't mix business with pleasure.
Yeah, I'm still scratching my head over the use of heifer.
The use of heifer.
I'm still using the word heifer. Now, this is tough. But the reason why I was saying that is tough is because you spend a lot of time at work, right?
Yeah.
And I had this happen before.
Sure.
And I worked in New York too, and it was funny because I met someone on the job.
Yeah.
So.
And it's hard to find relationships, in my opinion, too, Ryan. I don't mean to stop you in the middle of your thought. It is difficult, in my opinion, to find them much harder in New York, in all honesty.
I'm going to tell you what it is. What happens is you spend so much time at work.
Yeah.
So what happens is when you find someone, especially that works at the same company, and if they do something similar to what you do, you have something in common. So it's almost like spending 8 to 10 hours around this person or in the same building.
That's true.
Of course, we're going to coordinate for lunch. You know what I mean?
It's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time. Mm-hmm. So by the time you get off, it's almost like I'm good with connecting with the person that I had. I mean, that's how I felt. It was convenient.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it was definitely convenient. So it was one of those things where it actually was a plus.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was one of those things where I knew I was going to see this person. But to go back to the story, I think the story has too many mixed components. Because if they're not sharing in public that they're dating or they're with someone else, I think it's going to come into a play where, feelings and emotions, and it's a jealousy thing. And
it is. There's a lot of variables here, and I mean, I have also dated someone in the workplace before too. I think you're right. You spend so much time at work, and it's natural for it to kind of unfold and unveil that way. I think that, in all honesty, Tiffany, this is a situation where you really have to set those clear boundaries, because it sounds like a boundary issue to me. And if you're feeling uncomfortable now, it's only going to get worse as you continue to develop these deep feelings for him. So it has to be some really firm limits that they set
just need to make it public that they damn in a relationship. It's that simple. It's not. She said it's nothing in the HR manual unless they working.
That's true.
Unless they both working side by side in the cubicle or they in the same situation. Just let it be known. I mean, it happens. Listen, it happens. I mean, you can't avoid meeting and dating somebody at the job. Now that's the difference. Now if y'all kissing at the cooler, that's something different.
I think it too depends on how long they have been doing this, because like if it's been 3 months, or you know what I mean, or under 6 months, I will hold off first. I think if it's been a little longer than that, then maybe you have a point there, Ryan. If it's okay.
I mean, if they're carpooling, listen. After 3 months, how things are going out here now, I'm pretty sure somebody is spending the night at somebody's house. So my point is that if they carpooling to work, you might as well go ahead and make it known, because the security guy know that is letting you in the gate.
I don't know about all that, but I do know this. I know that women do get very catty, you know what I mean, or whatever, in the office. I get that. And so, you know, the more they kind of know about something too, the, you know, the uneasy or I mean, they may pick at it, you know, and I'm not saying it's all women, but a lot of times women are that way. They're very catty. So if it's not something that, or a relationship that's been kind of blossoming.
So you're saying if they're just dating
beyond 3 months for right now, I would just hold off right now.
So you're saying if they're dating, keep it on the hush.
I'm just saying for right now.
But if they're in a full-blown committed relationship.
Yes, if they are in a full-blown committed relationship.
6 months to a year.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, you know what? I would ask one question about this. How would it impact the office or the work environment if they know that we're together? Yeah, would it be negative or would it be positive? Like if it's,
that's a good point.
If we work, like if it's a big building and I'm on the 8th floor and you on the 2nd floor, I don't really think that matters. Mm-hmm. But if we're on the same
news
floor,
travel fast. I'm just playing. Say news travel fast.
Well, no, not even about the news. I'm saying if we really don't interact with each other, I'm saying I don't really think it matters. But I'm saying if we interact with every day, we're in the same meetings or we work cubicles beside cubicles, I think it's one of those things where it may become an office issue because, and I'm gonna tell you why. I've had to deal with people that have worked for me in a capacity where they were together. And what happens is, if there's any fighting or any issues or anything like that, it causes a conflict at the workplace.
I mean, you're absolutely right.
So it's one of those things that you got to understand that if you bring your personal love life into the office, it's going to be scrutinized by people all the time.
This is why I'm saying don't introduce it too prematurely. You're absolutely right. Because of those variables. You don't want to introduce it too prematurely. And you're right. If you're on different levels, it could add a different dynamic. But I'm not even focusing more so on whether y'all work closely together. Just the impact it will have, like you said, in the office. You brought up a good point with that. With just it getting around, you know, to other people and how they react to it. Sometimes it's not even the actual couple itself; it's how other people react to the relationship.
The co-workers and the colleagues,
exactly.
and the supervisors or bosses.
Yes.
I mean, it has to be one of those things where if it has zero effect on the office environment, it's a win-win. Yeah. But if it has any damage to that office,
you want no collateral damage.
You might as well just keep it on the hush.
Yeah.
You better off keeping it on the hush.
Yeah, Tiffany. So yeah, those boundaries are important, and I agree with your feedback there, Ryan. That was good. And you want to make sure you assessing the impact it has on the office and you guys' jobs because you need a livelihood.
Pay your bills.
Right. Exactly.
Well, that's my 2 cents on the situation.
Yeah, we appreciate you sharing that, Tiff, and we definitely hope it works out for the best. Continue to be honest and open.
So stick around. We got another hot topic coming up. So I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be excited.
I know you're excited.
Match My Freak Level.
Yeah, this is the one you've been waiting for.
Stick around, guys. We'll be right back. And we are back.
Yes, we are, Ryan.
And I'm ready to dive into this topic.
I'm going to let you take the lead.
Well, no, I want to dive into the topic because I think it's important. I mean, a lot of people are having these issues and matching their freak level. And what happens is, I mean, just, I like to sometimes come from myself or first person standpoint.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And just try to throw this out here. So
is this, are you getting candid with us?
I'm getting candid.
Is this a real life experience that you are?
I mean, I'm a tiptoe in that. I'm a tiptoe.
This from?
Well, no, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. When you meet people, the whole thing is that, of course, you want to connect and you want to find intimacy. But I think at the back of that whole connection, you really want to make sure that person can match you when it comes to that area that I think is the icing on the cake. The intimacy, I think, is the cake. But the icing on the cake is that freak thing. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, some people, and this is what keeps it spicy.
Okay.
You know, this is what determines how you're gonna you look at that person every day. You know what I mean? Are you gonna be bored with it? Yeah, are you gonna be bored with their ass and all right, I love them and we connect and we're cool, but it's something that I don't know what it's that. I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Please. When
you watch a porn, right? There's a feeling that you get. I don't know what it's called. It's this. I don't want to say it's a weird feeling, but it's this feeling you get when you watch porn. I don't know what it is, but if you can find and
try to describe it so we can know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying it's just it's almost. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Here it is. This is the perfect thing. All right. So you know how you feel when you listen to a Michael Jackson song, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you know how you feel when you listen to a Prince song, right?
Right.
Okay, you know how you feel when you listen to, let's say, Beyonce song.
Okay.
All right. There's a hell of a difference when you hear trap music.
Okay.
Do you see the difference? The trap music is pulling out like this vulgar side of you. So my point is, when I talk about match my freakiness, it's like you want someone to match the vulgarness of your sexuality of what you like.
So you want somebody to be able to allow that dirty side,
exactly. That's
inhibition.
Exactly. The dirty inhibitions to be free. So you want somebody to be able to match that. And a lot of times, people don't know how to approach each other when it comes to that.
That's so true. And you know what? A lot of times, people are so uptight about this. They really.
You know what I found? I'm gonna tell you what I found. I found that most women.
Here we go.
Want to be open about their sexual dirty inhibitions, but there has been some guy
that shamed them,
and they have locked them away, and they need to be free. Be free.
Be free.
Be free. I am setting you free right here on this show right now. Ladies, be free.
That is a valid point, Ryan. I'm so glad you brought that up. That's a valid point.
Yeah, so I know the topic threw you off. The topic threw you off.
It did throw me off. Yeah,
you were
clever.
It was. I had to go. I had to sneak around this one to get to you on this one. But no, it's very key though, because what happens is, and I'm gonna tell you a personal experience that is very close, right?
Okay.
So we talk about this in the book, and the level can be, let's say, on a 1 to 5, right? And if a woman is at a level 4 and the guy's at a level 2, she's not being satisfied.
Right.
So when she goes to see a movie like 50 Shades of Grey, the guy has no clue how to create those moments.
Right.
You know why? Because what he learned was through porn. He never learned how to tap into and this is why I said match. Where does a man learn how to do these things?
I mean, okay, and I think that door can swing the same way. I mean, for a woman too. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. So here's what I'm saying. A woman, yes, I'm saying, but the man has to create that moment. So when you see 50 Shades of Grey, I'm saying this guy is diving into some deep, dirty inhibitions. I mean, he goes there. And she was this plain chick. But what happens is once he opened her up, she was wide open for it. So I'm saying that in reverse, I'm saying that a lot of times women are the ones that read these books, see these movies, listen to the music. And I'm saying they have these inhibitions, but I don't feel that men are able to give them that. And I feel like that's why I feel like the book is so key, because we talk about how to approach this.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. I think you're right. They do. A lot of them just seem to kind of go from the whole porn standpoint, but the book goes a little more beyond just. I mean,
we talk about. Think about it. Terms. We talk about in the book, and I'm giving you guys like literally like jewels and keys out of the book, but we talk about how to touch a man, how to touch a woman, how to pleasure yourself.
Right.
Those 3 things in itself are key.
They are key.
Do you know that there are a lot of women that do not even touch themselves?
I mean, you're absolutely
masturbate
right.
at all.
Absolutely right. Yeah, you're right.
So you say that. I mean, I say that to say that. How do you know how to have a man please you if you don't know how to please yourself?
That's true.
So that's like, I feel like that's like level 1 of matching my freakiness, of matching my inhibitions. Because guess what? If you don't, then it's one of those things where after a while, stuff starts to die down.
You're right. And you have to be able to be comfortable too to kind of discuss this with your, your partner, the person that you're with. And a lot of times people don't want to talk about it either, or it's very awkward for them to bring up,
that is true.
Which is interesting because, again, this is the person that you want to experience these things with.
But you're so afraid. You're afraid that they're going to say something or feel some type of way or whatever the case may be. And I'm saying, as of today, you guys are all free.
Well, thank you for freeing everyone.
Just freeing everybody.
I'm sure everyone is really
guys are all free.
Excited about being free, but you're right. And it goes back to, though, Ryan, to that ability to create that safe space and level of vulnerability so that no judgment zone that we talk about in the book is created.
That's key.
Because it's all a step, people. Like, we got to create that first, before we can start diving into the level of freakiness. Because if I'm not able to come and have a discussion with you,
I'm definitely not going to share my vulnerability.
I'm definitely not going to try to take you to my level 5.
Yeah, that's you're right about that. Now that's key. I think more people should understand this. You got to understand the vulnerability. Mm-hmm. And so, guys, if you're hearing this, and I'm stopping in my tracks to restate this, if you want a woman to match your freakiness, and ladies, if you want a guy to match your freakiness or your inhibitions, you got to be open and willing to be vulnerable.
Absolutely. That's the first step.
You got to be that. Now, I know some people like, nah, I don't need that. I could just tell her that, I'm trying to do this and do that and whip it here and throw the whipped cream. You know what? You can do that. Mm-hmm. You can do that. But I feel like that may only get you to a level 3 at max. Because what happens is, if she's just going straight up to a full-blown 5 with no vulnerability, I mean, I'm
right.
lost with words on that. I don't know.
She must have been a stripper, right? According to our previous podcast.
She might be more than a stripper. She might be into some other stuff.
Right.
Yeah, she might be down. It goes down to her DM. Let me tell you that one.
So anyway, I mean, I think too, Ryan, that people have their traumas around this, and we don't take those things seriously. So when you think about that whole vulnerable piece and being able to kind of have these pre-conversations, because it should be a pre-conversation and a post-sex conversation, and it shouldn't be when you're undressing, it shouldn't be when you're in the heat of the moment.
See, women are not being, let me say this.
These conversations should happen prior to,
But women are not being honest. Seriously, they're not being honest.
What?
In these post-sex conversations.
What do you mean they're not being honest?
Women are sparing feelings. They're sparing feelings. For real. It's two things. They're making guys feel like they're doing something. They really are.
I'm sorry. You know what? It is kind of difficult to look someone in the eye and, they really felt like they killed it and they didn't, And so it's hard for women. You're right.
Yeah, but then what happens is when you do that.
But men do the same thing.
Yeah, the rating now. Here's something we gonna go back and forth on. Now,
and then they go cheat.
Well, let me say this. I think that
not all men.
No, not all men. Yeah. If a woman matches a man's freakiness and goes even further, most likely that dude is not gonna cheat.
Right. So, but how can she do? What I'm saying is, how could she do that if you are trying to protect her and not really kind of have those honest See what happens. Let me tell y'all about men, because you want to talk about ladies. Let me say that. Here we go. That's right.
Here we go.
That's right. Pull your headphones closer.
Sheesh.
So let me say this, guys.
I thought the show was over.
Women are not as fragile as you think we are. So a lot of times y'all think that we can't handle a little kind of honesty or a little, just straightforward talk. Like, you guys sometimes like to tiptoe around us because you feel as though we're these delicate, fragile creatures. Yes, women are a little more in tune with their emotions, a little more in tune with certain things more so than men. But we can handle feedback, we can handle that.
We can't. Let me tell you that right now. We cannot. We have a thing what's called ego. Yes. And if a woman says that a guy's sex is whack, he's going to respond in one or two ways. He's going to be crushed, or he's going to be very violent because she just shattered his ego. So I suggest that if you would like that guy or you want to let that guy know his performance, what I would do is I would let him know what he was good at, and let him know what you think he can do better to please you.
That's right. And we go about that in detail too, actually. And in the book, you're absolutely right. How to frame that conversation.
You got to frame it. You can't just say you whack or you wasn't good or you wasn't
or
this.
I didn't get mine or you don't want to leave with that.
Nah, you don't want to leave with that. You want to leave with what you did. What you did good. Now, if he did nothing good, that's a whole nother story. That's one of those things where that might be. I mean, listen, a lot of women say that's a deal breaker.
I mean, that should be a deal breaker for a lot of people.
Well, no, I'm just saying, a guy, a guy can kind of muscle through it. If she's consistent with what he likes, he'll muscle through it. He'll muscle through it for a while. A woman, it seems like, women will probably muscle through it more. I take that back.
Thank you.
Women will muscle through it more because.
Thank you for thinking about that.
Yeah, I had to think about that. I had to correct myself. I stand corrected. So if anybody hear that, don't try to come for me and say that
women endure a lot, Ryan.
All right, you guys do.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole nother podcast. Well, look, I hope you guys enjoyed this Match My Freakiness where we dove in and talked about and shook things up.
We really go into detail about, like you said, the different types of the levels, to it, and how to frame those conversations, how to have that pre-sex conversation to really understand your partner's thoughts around sex, you know what I mean? Because not everyone, a lot of times we go into relationships or even in dating, just assuming that this person has had similar experiences as us. Or,
I'm going to do what I did with the last person with this one, and I'm going to blow their mind.
Negative. Because what worked for Kim may not work for
Kendra. Or Kilolo.
And what worked for Mike may not work for Michael. Well, that's the same person.
That's the same person. You sleep with the same person?
I know.
You want to say Mike and Mitch?
Yes.
Okay, Mike and Mitch.
Mike is.
Forgive her, guys. I don't know what she had going on with this little fantasy with Mike and Michael.
I know. I got my fantasy at home.
Okay. All right. Shout out to hubby. Well, listen. Thank you guys for tuning in to another show. Stick around. We're going to leave off tonight with Pillow Talk with Lex. All right?
Absolutely. All right, guys, we are back with Pillow Talk, and we're about to wind things on down. So here is some reflection for you. Feelings of discomfort in a relationship are a big deal. Don't downplay it. Don't make excuses for your significant other. Don't allow it to fester. Be brave and approach the real issues head on in a non-aggressive manner. A good partner will remain mindful of your feelings always and will choose to demonstrate that they are doing their best to remain mindful no matter the situation.
That was great. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more on that. That's how you close the show.
Yeah, that's
how you close the damn show.
Just close it up.
You close it up. Guys, if you like this podcast, give us a good old 5 stars. Yeah. If you didn't like it, give us a 1 star. We just want to know some feedback. You know what I mean? But we do love the 5 stars. I mean, you can give us 5 stars every time. But we're on iTunes.
Yes.
We're on Google Play, SoundCloud. Make sure you follow us on all the platforms. We're ready to give you guys in-depth, transparent look at everything that we've been doing when it comes to this book and this podcast. We even have some stories that we're going to share. So make sure you follow us on all our platforms.
That's right. You can follow me. My handle is Ask Lex Harris. That's on IG. That's on Facebook. That's my website.
And I'm Ryan Whitfield on Twitter, Ryan Whitfield on Instagram, and of course you can follow us on Facebook at Intimacy Uncovered.
That's right.
So thank you guys, and once again, until next time, let's stay connected.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Intimacy Uncovered podcast. You can win a pre-released copy of the Intimacy Uncovered book. Go sign up now at intimacyuncovered.com.